Good morning, Bucknuts. It is Thursday, May 18th, 2017. I am Dan Rubin. This is the Bucknuts Morning 5 and Change, coming to you from an overcast but seasonably warm Gem City. If it's Thursday, that can mean only one thing. Steve Wiltfong, Director of Recruiting for 24/7 Sports, coming to you live on tape from Indy. Steve, how goes it, my good friend?
Man, I'm fired up, Dan. Having a baby next Monday. I'm going to miss the morning 5 next Thursday, so we got to have a good show today. I'm smoothie free right now because I have an appointment this morning, and we're out of whack here at the Wiltfong house, but I hope it doesn't rain. Also trying to clean the garage today, my friend. How goes it on your end?
Very well, but I am also about 10 years out of the baby situation, so I sleep, and good luck with all that. Hope you have a good week off and everything goes swimmingly for Mrs. Wiltfong, and we are sure it will. What are we going to start with today? Those of you who follow recruiting, sometimes there's a name that pops up that surprises you. Today would fit the bill. Tyson Campbell. Tyson Campbell. Defensive back out of Fort Lauderdale. I have to admit was not high on my radar, but then again, I'm not in charge of recruiting for Ohio State, which is good. And now it seems like there's some crystal ball movement on Tyson to Ohio State. This is a name we have not discussed one time here on the BM5. So, Steve, introduce the peeps to Tyson Campbell and why his name has popped up and where you think he's going to go to college.
Well, Tyson Campbell is the nation's number 4 corner for the 24/7 Sports Composite, nation's number 28 prospect overall. He's in that 5-star territory. 6'2.5", 180 pounds, probably a guy that gives you a lot of versatility in the secondary, certainly can run from that South Florida speed, a playmaker in the secondary, a guy that's looking to make something happen on the football. Miami is the crystal ball favorite, but Ohio State is in the picture, and when you talk to people around the Buckeyes program, they feel they have a shot at Tyson Campbell, one of the standouts from South Florida.
Where has this kind of come from? I mean, I know, do you think, well, let's put it this way. Has it gotten to the point now where Ohio State is just taking the top corners list and going down and seeing what they can do? Because Anthony Cook is, of course, number 1, and there's many who believe he'll end up in the class.
And I think Anthony Cook's trending towards Ohio State, too. And they definitely have a shot at him, but Tyson Campbell has been to Ohio State, if I remember correctly. I think he was on campus in April. So it's not like it comes out of left field now. You come up, you visit Ohio State. It's the largest campus in America. It's a fun place to be. There's a buzz in Columbus whenever I visit, but I visit on game days, I guess, for the most part. And then obviously you have a tremendous coaching staff, with Coach Combs and Coach Meyer, 2 of the best recruiters in the country. That's just, what else is there to be said about those 2? So not surprised Ohio State's in play here. And we'll see what happens. Jeremy Birmingham from Land of 10, one of those crystal ball picks. He covers the Buckeyes as well as anybody. So, there's no question Ohio State's in it. And, you look at Ohio State's class, ranked number 2 in the country, but again, running away with the number 1 average ranking per commit deal. Tyson Campbell, another top 100 recruit, strongly considering playing for Urban Meyer, Kerry Combs, and the Buckeyes.
Yeah, I articulated that poorly, shocker, but it does seem like they're going in hand-picking corners now. To do the Okudah, Wade, Cook, Campbell deal over 2 seasons would be just staggering. Not only that,
probably tells you that we have, which probably tells you we have Seven Banks ranked too low.
No doubt. Good point. Seven Banks. Yeah, the corner who was already committed to Ohio State is ranked a little bit lower than that. But again, Banks was a kid who was hurt.
Plus athlete.
They're betting on the come there.
Well, he's shown this spring that he's in great shape and returning to form athletically. So excited to see what Seven Banks does for Orlando Jones this fall. And he's another one of those 6'1" defensive backs that you can get a lot of mileage out of.
Yeah, that's where I was going with it. The guys they're picking now are not just talented; they're prototype size-wise. I mean, Campbell is even a little bigger than your prototype at 6'2.5", so that's certainly promising. Probably needs to put on a few lbs.
Mickey Marotti and make those guys look like grown men too. It's just
I was going to say
the well-oiled machine, my friend.
No, it's beautiful. Speaking of a well-oiled machine, number one outside linebacker in the country, hails from Ohio. What does that mean? It's coming to Ohio State. That's Dallas Gant. We knew that earlier this week. Put in perspective, just kind of, or wrap up the Dallas Gant recruitment and maybe what you think of him personally.
Well, I think Dallas Gant was a guy that honestly, was probably someone that would have been destined for Notre Dame before the recruiting process started. Toledo St. John's is very similar to Notre Dame. Dallas Gant maybe even fits Notre Dame from a personality standpoint. But Ohio State, the track record off the field, the recruiting prowess, making Gant feel at home, making Gant's family feel at home, the opportunity to play for the in-state Buckeyes, all that combined, all those Notre Dame angles, irrelevant come deciding day and really irrelevant for most of the process. I think that Ohio State got some early momentum with Gant and never let it go away. And the media maybe created that Notre Dame buzz just because, your brain starts churning. You're like, well, why hasn't he done it yet? Maybe he's not going to Ohio State. I don't know. I'm just trying to give you listeners a reason why sometimes stuff gets created. But in the end, I don't think Ohio State was ever really I don't think they were ever in doubt of not getting the kid, even though there were some times where even in the Bucknuts boarding house or even what I reported, it seemed like Notre Dame was closer than they were. I think we were inaccurate in hindsight. But that Gant wanted to be a Buckeye, dotted his I's, crossed his T's, and in that Ohio State's landing another guy with tremendous upside, a rangy player, a hard-hitting player, a long player, 6'3", 227. Be exciting to see what he develops into with that Ohio State strength and conditioning program, and then obviously at the on-field development. So tremendous get, our number one ranked outside linebacker at 24/7 Sports, so we feel great about him.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you have a number one guy's position in the state, got to lock that guy down. Obviously, it's very rare for an Ohioan to turn down an Ohio State offer, so Gant is a huge pickup. Very cool during this cycle to have the number one outside linebacker. We also have the number one left tackle in Jackson Carlin, so we'll see how that one works out. Feel very good about it. Going to finish it with this. I'm not sure how excited to get about this because this is a name that keeps coming up. I feel like it's coming up enough that we need to address it. By the same token, I don't want to get my hopes up too much, and that's Zamir White, the running back out of North Carolina. Go ahead.
Yeah, number one running back in the country. Didn't mean to cut you off, but I was going to jump in there and say Tony Alford's working his ass off on this one. One of the top recruiters in America. Tony Alford has given Ohio State a great chance to land Zamir. Zamir has been on Ohio State's campus 3 times, I believe. Georgia's the 24/7 Sports crystal ball favorite. My pick included. Clemson's in there as well. I think that Zamir really likes Ohio State, but there's a pull for him to stay south and play at a place like Georgia, and that's still my pick, but I think he's very, very intrigued with the idea of playing at Ohio State and the opportunity to come in and really have an impact right away. And the connection with Coach Alford and the rest of the staff. Ohio State's still in there, but announcing on his mom's birthday, I think that his mom likes Georgia. And so in the end, you're announcing on your mom's birthday, and she likes the school. I think that's the school.
When's his mom's birthday?
June 27th.
Okay, that's a shame. I was going to say,
countdown clock rolling.
I know, but I was going to say if he was one of those guys that was waiting it out. If Weber has a huge season, I think that would help. But I guess we're not going to get that chance.
You never. Hey, it's recruiting. He commits in June. Has he signed yet? So you still get that chance. But Ohio State, I wouldn't be surprised if they went on another running back also. A guy like Master Teague, maybe.
Very interesting. We'll leave it there. We appreciate Steve for stopping by. Have a good one, Bucknutters.
Take care, guys.